Hey everybody, JJ here. Welcome back for another Saturday of Zoom Networking. Today, my guest speaker is an unbelievable guy from Pace Morby Sub 2 community. If you've not heard from Sub 2, look up Pace Morby on YouTube. He's got a Facebook page called Creative Financing by Pace Morby. You can interact with Pace's students. But one of the all-stars out of Pace's community is the young man we have with us today to talk with us. His name is Mr. Chad Glover. Chad, how you doing, my friend?
Beautiful, beautiful. Nice to be with you all on this fine Saturday. A lot of nice, beautiful people. I've heard a little bit what y'all got going on, a ton of networking and things like that. So privileged to be here. I appreciate y'all.
Well, hey, man, it's a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Let's kind of, talk about you. We had a nice conversation yesterday, and your story is friggin' amazing. You did not have the opportunity when you were young to be around things like industry, or you grew up in a very modest beginning. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. My grandmother had 12 kids. She had 13. One passed away when he was a baby, So my mom is the oldest of all of them. We call them the Dirty Dozen. That's literally their nickname around town, So my mom was the oldest of them. So she had me young. Her and my dad was married. They got divorced and still stayed together the whole time until he passed away. So I truly don't know why they got divorced. But she had me early, had my sister right after at 18, had my sister at 19. So I grew up around everybody, basically older and being the first grandson. So I became the default favorite, and then it became a thing of just everybody pointing to, but a ton of love, man. But we didn't have, like you stated in your intro, that those type of mentors or those types of sites that you see, such as affluence, people building houses, people owning houses. When they made the housing authority projects, that was like an upgrade to us. You know what I mean? Just the truth. So we loved it, but what we never lacked was love, and what we never lacked was us having the ability to see forward, right? And I think as that's what's groomed me to the point of always having that visionary mindset and wanting to have way more than I've seen around me, So that's kind of how it is. I always was curious and I always want to get into stuff, as a kid. I think all the young guys on here can attest to that, So now it's just about, I always wanted real estate. I just seen that as the way to get out, the way to, not just about me, right? It ain't about me. If it was about me, I don't think I'd be on this call, because I'm okay. My family great. They ain't got my immediate is fine. But it's about community and those who don't have these types of calls, these types of resources that I'm in part of now. I'm in a ton of rooms with people that's higher level than me. I'm in rooms where I'm educating. So it's just a testament to just what I call the win way, right? We here now. Embrace the moment, be present. Don't worry about nothing that happened yesterday unless it's something to propel you forward. That's how I think, I take when I hear a problem, I go straight to the solution in my mind, because I'm going to be way down the road. And anything I believe truly that you can see it, you can achieve it. I believe in God. So I believe anything I got as a vision come from him. So everybody I share it with, they either going to doubt it or they're going to help me get to that thing, because he's placing each of these people in my path, whether they're a doubter, whether they're someone that's sent to me to help me. But it's a test either way, right? So if they doubt and I go with the doubt, I didn't truly have faith in him. If I roll with the person that's giving me the help, that's basically what I call that helping hand. And we just propel each other forward accordingly. So, and then it's about what you do with the money, what you do with the wealth, what you do with the knowledge when you get it. That's the key too. A lot of people, I think, forget that moment of when you get it, what you're supposed to do with it, because you for sure can't come to it on the other side. Right. If everybody don't believe in God, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about my beliefs. So I apologize.
Oh, you're good, man. You're completely good. Your beliefs are probably on par with a lot of other people. When we were talking yesterday, you told us, or you telling me, how you'd gone from very modest beginning, and moving into the projects was basically moving into a better area, better opportunity, which you have another perspective of today. But on that move, and as you got older, your family then rented a house, and you became familiar with the concept of someone being a landlord. And that was part of your direction. You wanted to be a landlord one day. You wanted to be a property owner one day.
Yeah, and it was like he wasn't the nicest, you know. So I looked at it like it looked like a control thing, right? So real estate, once again, owning your house was freedom. That's how I looked at it. Like not only freedom to where you can paint your house, you can do what you want to your house, but a way of freeing yourself from these type of constraints. So once again, I never could get any information from him on how to do those things, but just by happenstance, and fast forward all the way to 2019 is when I was just listening to a Breakfast Club interview. So that's what I mean about your vision. Like I had some idea of like, yo, I'm gonna be successful in this. I didn't know the whole how that looked. But when I heard that story of how you can take a piece of paper to title and then get another piece of paper, take that to title, and you basically get a $10,000 check, I said, oh, that's it. And he was talking about real estate. So that's when this is it. And now I jumped headfirst into it. I did the YouTube university thing. I came upon a guy that was selling a virtual wholesaling course right in the pandemic when everything shut down. So now I done got all this information. I'm ready to go. And I'm not the type to try to read the whole book. I can read a chapter, and I'm going to do what the chapter say. And I'll figure it out. I figured out the rest of the book along the way. I may never even read it all, you know. That's how I just take that imperfect action. So for anybody that has the idea like, yo, I have to have everything lined up. Please, you'll be doing this thing for 5 years. You'll be reading encyclopedias forever, right? So basically, when you get that little bit of knowledge, jump into that pool. You got everybody on this call, I think I heard was talking about networking. So you have somebody like me, like I thought my number was in here. You can reach out to me and I can help you for whatever you need when it comes to whatever got to do with real estate. So that interview really, truly opened my eyes to that world. And it became my gateway because I thought, remember, I'm not around people just buying houses. So my idea of real estate was you got to have a lot of money, right? Because I couldn't understand all these signs up in the neighborhood saying, we buy houses. I'm like, who buying houses around here? Like, but come to find out there was a bandit sign, right? I had no idea what that was. So I used wholesaling as my gateway. And then I still keep wholesaling, but now it turned into creative, buying homes, getting into apartments. My ultimate goal is to have affordable housing, right? So now I've surrounded myself with people that know how to do new builds, that has funding, all of these things that come into creating a ground up build of affordable housing. So,
Chad, you're obviously looking to not leave, but stay with the community in which you were raised, where you're from, and to help the community that you've always been a part of. You're doing that, leading by example, helping others. But you've only been in this real estate game a couple of years now as an investor. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And from our conversation yesterday, I know you as being one of the shining stars in Step 2. Pace mentions your name. Everybody sees you. You're visible, which is what caused me to reach out. I want to know the all-stars. I want to know the people that are doing great things, and to understand how hard you've worked and where you've come from and how you succeeded is an unbelievable story. But I think part of that story, you've done approximately somewhere, let me get this number right, between 50 and 100 wholesales in the last 2 years.
Yes, it's between. I was actually counting them up again today. When I said it, I said, no, I want to say 100. It sounds kind of like I'm lying. And then I broke it down like, oh, shoot, I am kind of close to, I'm definitely over 50, right? So, and it comes from, a lot of it is attributed to Pace, man. I tell him every chance I get how I appreciate him, just from his knowledge, right? Not from just his drive, because without that information, I wouldn't be able to do the amount that I've done.
So now, as you've taken this on, there are a number of roles in the real estate field for what Pace is talking about. There's, doing acquisitions, doing underwriting, disposition, and you've worn all these hats yourself, or have you brought on VAs to help you? How have you built your business?
Yes, I actually created a virtual assistant company, and this for everybody here. Always, well, I'm gonna say for me, I'm the type that has this huge goals and all these things in my mind. So I always think of vertical integration, just mean that you have a business. How much, and I'm not saying anybody don't know what this means, but just to break it down, like if you have a business, what tool can you add on to actually help your business, whether you expensing it out, basically. So I could, if I know I can have a VA and I'm gonna train them to where I want them anyway, and I know people in the Philippines, so why not create the company? So I started creating them and training them for myself, and then people that needed them, I wouldn't charge them like $10, $12 because I think I can. You can kind of hire one of us Americans for that. So I wanted to still make it cheap, right? So it's like $7 for the training. So I'm really not getting that from it because my goal is to help the person. It ain't about me really. So I created a VA company to do comping, how to like build out my buyers list, how to cold call. Now they're getting into more closing, doing most of what I do. And then some people that sub to or people around in the community and stuff, I give them a commission based on what they close, that helps close the deal. And then of course, they go out and build their own business, which is the goal too. You don't have to always work with myself. You do this for your own self. So that's kind of built it out. I do direct to seller, which is, cold calling my own acquisitions. And then I have a lot of people that I do JV with, just helping them out because I have a huge buyers list that's nationwide, and my virtual assistant company, and that's basically the gist of my business. It's everything they got to do with real estate, basically, that I'm involved with when it comes to getting a lead. And there's plenty of ways to get a lead. I don't know how much time we got or which I want to focus on, but there's tons of ways you can get a lead.
Yeah, we've always got time, and if we don't, we can always have you back and talk more because I'm sure you've got a wealth to share with us. You work, as per our conversation yesterday, you work predominantly by yourself, but you do joint venture with a lot of people. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've tried bringing in others sometime, didn't work out. Just basically, mainly come time is just about the individual. I'm big on energy, If you had that bad vibe, I'm sure they used to call it women's intuition, right? I think they have a higher. I think they got it more than us. Basically, we kind of ignore it. I think because we want to be the male and try to just push through it. But I done learned to really pay attention to it because that's a defense mechanism for you. It's a safety valve, really. So when I see you do something that's not in line with what we talked about, I kind of shy away from it because that's a sign. It's telling you what's more to come. Not saying I'm gonna hold you to every mistake because nobody's perfect, right? So that's not saying it's a one-off thing. It's something that you do, and I know this is how you are. This is who you really are, other than what you presented yourself initially. That's why I'm super transparent, right? So when you are transparent, you're able to see what another person is trying to hide because you don't have nothing to basically.
Exactly. So, we met in Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas.
We met at the Clever Summit, and a lot of people there from all over the country. And as we venture into real estate, there are people that we'll be meeting with, whether it's face to face or in a Zoom call or just through Facebook messaging or Facebook groups. What do you think the importance is for the new investor in escalating their business? What's the value of networking, and what are some of the ways that you go about maybe screening people you work with and deciding do you or do you not want to work with somebody? How do you network, and how do you evaluate the people you want to work with?
It's mainly organic, Like I don't have people try to give me like interview scripts. I think they have like, you wanna send them to this DISC assessment and all this stuff. And what's so funny about, I ain't gonna name the name of the DISC assessments, but I know this person is totally different from me. They know they're totally different from me, but we came out with the same type of personality. Like, so that'll tell you how certain DISC assessments just algorithm, right? So with that, I just basically it's just organic, like people I meet. If I've never tried LinkedIn or Indeed, I think people post, I don't do that. It's just people that I know. And what better community than the communities I'm involved with now, sub 2. these people you have right here, right? So I don't have to go too far, right? They literally right here. And so if anything wrong, we'll part us up too. They don't want to basically hurt their name, right? So I got a kind of advantage. You do something wrong, everybody gonna know, which I'm not gonna tell it, but they'll feel some type of way. Like I never do that. Like I would never share my experience and impress it to the community because it may be different with you, right? So I never even do that. But how I typically do, just to answer your question, networking is super important. Like you don't have to do what I did, right? I took the stairs, literally. I still like taking the stairs because it builds up a lot of skin, a lot of stamina for everything that I want to do. I want to know how to do everything in this business before I delegate it, which is kind of long, and I pick up on stuff quick. So the networking, you can literally take your business from zero to something within just a few months, just connecting with the right people. Like some people now, they just want to cold call and learn how to lead manage about coming in and doing things for me. But what they do while they're lead managing, I'm telling them what to say different. I'm helping them so they're excelling their sales skills as well as talking to real sellers and getting their feet wet. So I didn't have that. So now you can basically in 3 months just do your own business because I done showed you how to lead manage. I done showed you how to get leads, everything. So networking is huge if you can do that. But it's always with the right person, And the right person to me is somebody that's just trustworthy and just honest, have those same types of goals that you want, Don't mean that you want to be what I want to be because my level of success is determined by my thinking. Your thinking is your thought. So like some people, for an example, want to work 9 to 5 and they're the happiest they ever be, right? They want to retire at 65 and that's totally fine. That's their level of happiness, right? So when you tell that to somebody that's an entrepreneur, they don't see it that way, right? They want to do certain things their way. They want a certain amount of freedom, all of that. And that equates to their happiness, their level of success. So I always try to listen to who a person is and where they want to go. That's the key. When I ever first started to, I always ask them that, like, what you want? Like, who are you? Not like, who are you, right? Because that's like, they might get offended. I mean, like, who are you in terms of your business? Like what you want to do? Because you can get drawn everywhere. Like I see my circle is successful in a lot of ways and they doing multifamily. So I can see, say, oh, shoot, I'm going to drop now and I'm going to go over here to multifamily, right? Because I don't know who I am. I know that's another cog in the wheel. That's down the road. I don't want that right now. I'm doing great with this. Let me do this and now get this honed in and let me go to that. So that's what I mean by knowing who you are and where you want to go, because that'll guide you and don't keep you. It won't create no type of jealousy or envy in your heart when you see somebody else winning. I've never been that type of person, but be honest, some people do. They'll see somebody win, like, dang, I wish that was me, right? And what that does is take away your own gratitude, your own blessings, actually. When you have gratitude, we have a ton. The key to this recipe is love and gratitude. It's truly what it is. When you have a ton of gratitude and you congratulate people, you invite that energy back to you, right? So it don't matter if I didn't have nothing, right? I didn't have no money when I was little, but I was super content. I was grateful. I was happy, right? And I grew up to now I got the knowledge and I'm feeding that same type of energy on a larger scale now, right? So it boils down to love and gratitude. That's what it is. That's truly what it boils down to. See it, believe it, achieve it, release it. That's how I do, and everything gonna start coming to you accordingly. You can see when somebody not right, just back away from them. The law of harmony states, don't throw that rock back in that pond. That means to me, I'm not gonna dirty your name up because that's gonna keep the cycle going. I'm gonna just let it go. You'll get found out later on by everything if a person is just open with who you are. It'll reveal itself. So I don't keep it going. I shut it off with me and let you just go about your way. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. Don't keep nothing going, basically. Let that energy die.
Chad, you're freaking amazing, man. You're pretty much the example of self-taught, right? I mean, you went to high school, but didn't go to college, but you had an interest in technology because you knew technology was the way of the future.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man, that's what I mean. I'm always was forward thinking. So I used to tinker with stuff. Like I literally cut my TV cord one day and try to put it back together. Of course, I got a whole nother argument about that, right? But I literally used to try to play with stuff. So when computers and all this stuff came out, it was dial up. Like I was born in 75, right? So it was dial up. And I used to get on there and just play this little, I think they had some type of game. That's all I knew what to do, you know? Yeah, so I used to play that little thing. And as it went, I said, dang, I want to know what this stuff is. And as I got older, I tried to get involved with it, you know, but I never even completed that stuff. I always go back to it. That's why I like talking to people about apps. I done had a ton of app ideas that I couldn't basically get out because I didn't know the people. Like that's what I say about the power of networking and stuff. And it's been apps that I see today that's like people are billionaires off of this stuff. And if I said that, I mean, like, I don't know if you'll believe it or not. I wish I had the pad and I can just show you when I wrote it down. But it was stuff that's literally out here today. And I'm like, man, you know, if I just knew this and this. And once again, I was congratulating. I didn't hate it or nothing like that. But that ain't my lane, basically. You know, I got app ideas, but now I found a guy and a lady that does apps. So I told him I have a ton of ideas. We're going to do this.
Great.
Yeah. So I'm still involved in it. I still love it. I just don't, it's not my focus. I have people now that I can just execute thoughts now, you know. So that's one of my goals for next year.
I love your story. You know, people tell you all the time, real estate is not something, you don't have to have a degree in real estate. You don't have to go to college in real estate to stay real estate. You just need to have drive, fortitude, and persistence. 100%. And you have that. You've created a successful business. You started in such humble beginnings that moving to the projects was a step up. And now you own your own home, right? You're yeah. Tell me about your family.
Yeah, man, I'm actually in my office. This virtual thing is, I don't know how to get this stuff. I don't even know how to work this Zoom, y'all. So yeah,
no, you're good, brother. Yeah. But I mean, you're telling me that you got your own home now. You're married. You got kids of your own.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 3. My wife had a kid before we got married. My oldest, she graduated just this last May when she had her master's in biology. She graduated 23 with a master's. My son, he's going back to get his master's in psychology in the fall. And my youngest, he's junior at college in Pfeiffer College here. And we built our home in 2018.
Yeah, that's just so amazing. You know, as I said, you started from humble beginnings and you've been persistent. You followed your ambition to realize that technology leads to something else, and that inspired your imagination to look for more. And obviously, as a child, you saw that real estate was the way to go, and you continue with that. But now you've inspired your kids to not only go to college, but now they're getting their masters. That you must be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, 100%. And she always, as a kid, wanted to be a doctor, right? And wow. Then she eventually got to the point where, because she wanted to help people, like how to figure out how to help them and solve that problem that she's seen in her neighborhood. You know, how they say the apple don't fall far from the tree. So they have that same type of nurturing attitude. That's why he's in psychology, she's in biology. So she pivoted because she was basically started doing it because everybody expecting that from her. They used to call her Dr. Glover. She was always smart and doing stuff like that. So, but what she does now is actually do medicine for this company right out of college. They hired her as soon as she graduated to, it's like any drugs that's coming out, they basically the ones that put it out. So she said that's her way of helping of people. Is
helping others.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, is your grandmother still with the family? Is she still around?
No, she passed away, man. I got her right here in my office on this poster, this thing they made for. And yeah, she passed away, and that's one of my, man, that's like a huge motivation for me right there. Like when I lost her, it was like a blow. That was like my second mom. The first one, right? Because she's the grand, but she raised me. Like I left and went to my, stay with my grandmother. And my sister stayed with my mom. I mean, it ain't like we moved out of the city, right? Literally just across town. And I could go back and forth all the time. But we was always really, really close, you know? And So she seen me doing a lot of stuff to turn around, because as a kid I was into stuff, just curious, doing trouble stuff in the neighborhood, just whatever, and now she's seen that turn, I lost to Ashley when I was in Vegas. I was at a business trip on how to acquire business, how to buy them, right? That's one of the things I'm getting into, is like buying businesses. And she passed
Buying
away.
businesses. Wow.
How to buy them. It's just what's so cool for anybody. If you know creative financing, you know how to buy a business. 100%. It's the same thing, literally.
Chad, you're amazing. You're amazing. Your story, your path, your journey, what you're doing now, for me, is mind blowing. And what's puts the icing on the cake is you're such a nice, humble, truly genuine guy.
Yeah.
Hey, can we see? Hey, if you guys have any questions for Chad, go ahead down in the bottom of the Zoom screen. Feel free to click the reaction button, raise your hand. We'll be open to taking a couple questions. If you guys have something, I'm not sure how much time he has left, but maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Maybe we can get one or two questions.
Yeah.
So while we wait to see if the questions come in, what does the future, hold for you right now? You're going to continue with single family homes, or do you have desire to get to multifamily, commercial, or you just want to turn around your immediate community? You're in South Carolina, correct?
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
Yeah, outside of Charlotte. I'm border on the Charlotte Chapter. I don't know if y'all know it's North Carolina, but I'm outside of Charlotte because I have other places, like I say, I visit all the time, and places I'm getting, so I don't have to just be in hotels or with family when I go there. So I'm buying stuff in those areas, whether it be creative or whatever, just because it's another income, right? But with the market, you want to be careful right now. Like even with a BRRRR strategy, for example, if you are basing your business off of BRRRR, I use it basically like if it's going to be a good flip, the second part is I can base, if you don't know what a BRRRR is, it's just buying, renovating. I don't know people's level of investing here. So I hope I'm not trying to sound like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. So excuse me. I just want to make sure you know what I'm saying.
You're completely good. I think we've got a variety of new investors to experienced investors, but I think most of us know what the BRRRR strategy is. But go right ahead, Chad.
Yeah, it's just basically like if I'm buying and doing certain things, and right now you want to base it off what's happening with the interest rates and all those things that have an effect on your deal, has an effect on your refinance, on your flip, everything right now. So you want to buy right. I think the best thing you can do is learn wholesaling and creative finance right now. Like literally, that's going to be for the next 2 years, I can say the most lucrative thing is just wholesaling and acquiring properties creatively. The BRRRR thing, you're going to have to watch the interest rates. Just for an example, I was seeing one of the guys, he based his BRRRR off of getting a 4.25 interest rate. Interest rate now is like 6.5, for new home builds. So it messed his numbers up and he won't get nothing. It's basically sitting there. It'll cash flow, but now you got money sitting. So just think of those things going forward. Have how I do when I look at all these properties I have. Do I want to wholesale it? Do I want to keep it? Do I want to try to do something creatively? So I'm thinking of the end in mind before I even take it down, right? And it's going to truly help you not get stuck in certain bad deals to where you need to lose money, so trying to think about 14%. Oh, shoot, Susan. That was okay. Today is a steal for you, then, Susan. Yeah. So
have you had much opportunity now to travel the country now that you've become a successful real estate investor?
I travel to a lot of different meetups. I try to, only places I've been is basically to the West Coast a lot, like Vegas. And when I get with Pace, it's kind of like sometimes one-on-one with him. I just spend a couple of days with him doing stuff and just, so he poured into me on some other things that truly helped too, and through Pace, I've got a cool, really good relationship with Jamil. So all of those guys, if anybody's in Arizona, that's like the mecca, I say, of real estate when it comes to just wholesaling and all these systems that everybody is out there, and it's a large community of people that collaborate. So I think that's one of the keys of this business is collaboration. That's why I like hopping on the Zoom and networking, because it allows you to have a mentality of collaboration. That's the key. Because you want to go fast, you can go by yourself, right? It's an old African proverb. Like, you want to go fast, go by yourself. Want to go far, take a team, right? So it takes a team to get the goal. That if it's lofty, right, it's going to take a team. If it just, you want to achieve $5,000 to $10,000 extra a month, you can do that by yourself. You can literally just do 1 or 2 wholesale deals a month, and that's great. And that's what some people do. I hear people say they just want $5,000 extra a month, and that's their number. Perfect. Let me figure out how to help you do that. That's a real conversation. I'm telling y'all, a real conversation I just had with somebody. They want this month. I said, oh, that's just a couple like Airbnbs or like short-term rentals, like furnished finders. Y'all don't know. I'm trying to not deviate, but it's hard to, because I'm starting to talk about like stuff that can help you.
You're fine, brother. You go right ahead, man.
Yeah. When you think of Airbnbs, what people don't kind of tell you is it has a lot of fees attached. If y'all got Airbnbs in here, y'all can probably attest to it. Like, so if you got something like travel nurses or stuff like that, is less fees and less, furnished finders. I'm about to say that, Peggy, furnished finders. So you can use furnished finders. You can place your thing up there for an extended amount of time, and they pay you up front, right? So all of this information is now where I'm at. Because remember, I knew exactly what I wanted to do and the trajectory. So I started at wholesale and didn't even worry about Airbnb. I wanted to just build up. Now I got to where I'm at now. It's more so about getting in the short-term rentals and all this extra stuff, right? So, but yeah, Furnish Finder is a great resource if you want to get in bonded. But once again, don't base that house you get off of Furnish Finder or Airbnb, because we're about to head into a recession, so people are not going to be traveling. But if you base it off of the rental rate and you acquire that, you're going to steal cash flow. That's just a little tip, because you hear people all the time, hit an Airbnb at this cost. Yeah, but that means somebody got to come there. So,
okay, so you just mentioned Furnished Finder. I just pulled it up on the internet. It says monthly furnished rentals. So is that a vehicle that you're using now or that you recommend to use?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not using it. That's something I'm getting involved with now. I have a friend that's crushing it out of Cali. That's what they do. Like, that's their business. They don't do what I do. And that's what they told me about, like Furnish Find. It's another one too. Whenever I remember it, I drop it to you and you can share it with the group.
I just put it into the chat.
Yeah, it's another one too. It's like for people who want to do corporate rentals, it's more fees. You don't have to have all these systems. You can literally use the cleanup person as the one that restocks your house, that restocks your apartment. You don't have to use all this extra stuff to actually get you the lower your costs and get you more net profit. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm pushing towards now. A lot of my stuff is getting on there. So I'm educating myself, and then I'm just jumping in with the properties I'm getting now, So, and it takes, when you do it too, it take a level of private capital too, because you're going to have to furnish it and get it up to where it's staged, and that's what basically gets you your rate, so, and people want to come in and stay at your property. So kind of think about that when you're doing it. Yeah. Of course, Noah Hoffman, 100%. That's my man. I talk to Noah all the time. I text him. But yeah, Noah is crushing it. If y'all don't know Noah, who Noah is, I mean, that's like his name is literally the Airbnb king.
And that would be Noah Hoffman out of Sub 2.
100%. Yeah, Noah's different. That's his niche, though. Everybody got who they want to be. That's what it comes down to. Like Munif, my brother Munif, he was the same way. He wanted to join Sub 2 to do Airbnb, and that's what he getting to. He crushing it. He don't do what I do, So it boils down, like when I started with, know who you are and exactly what your goals are. Everything else will fall into place as long as you're just doing good business and being yourself, not being, trying to take advantage and stuff like that. It'll work itself out. Sure.
That's fantastic. So now, what's the community that you're from in North Carolina?
The community, I'm in Stateville.
Stateville, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So now, are you? So you want to get into building homes up there? Is that correct?
I want to do affordable housing. Because I have a 501c3 that's it's geared toward the youth. I see a lot of youth. Just for an example, like just last week, literally, it's a kid that done stayed at my house with my youngest. They graduated together. They played football for 5-7 years together. They worked at the Boys and Girls Club together, and he was just killed, right? So that right there is like my passion. The 501c3 is like the passion project. That's tied to my purpose. Real estate is the vehicle for that purpose. Real estate is tied to the purpose of helping people. That's why I like doing this stuff, servicing and go stuff like that, right? Because it's tied to that purpose of what my life purpose is, right? Everybody got a gift, everybody, right? Nobody is special. So that 501c3 is me of taking those youth and keeping them abreast, because he was a kid that literally just got a scholarship to go to Miami, and somebody just killed him, just for whatever is going on in the society, whether it be gangs, whatever, and they're young and they being misled. So if they can hear somebody like me that they know, that come from where they come from, and can still, I don't want to be the billionaire that stay on the hill. I want to be the one that walk amongst the people. That's my goal. I don't ever want to be arrogant and all this crazy stuff. That's truly my goal, is to be an example. Because we see all these people that's doing well, but can you touch them, right? When you can touch something, it makes it more real. Some people like to hear what you got to say, like to be exactly like around you, and it gives them that feel. It's just like Sub 2, right? Pace have a certain energy, and he gives out that thing. So when you match that, when you align with that, you just take off within the community. You see people fall to the wayside because some of them don't align up, and you start seeing posts about it and everything, right? So that's truly what I be on, is trying to direct them to a different path and utilizing IT just to spur their creativity. You don't have to get into it, but if you do, you'll make a ton of money to take care of yourself and your family. Using the arts so they can act out this type of traumas that they see on the daily, to have a story behind what not to do, because I done seen crazy stuff, just right in front of me, but didn't have an effect. I was always the type to not take nothing and let it keep me in this box. That's why I say we here now, and it sounds like win when I say the acronym together. Because if you want to win, you're going to have to truly embrace what's going on right now. Don't shun it. That's why they say you can't heal unless you reveal. How you going to heal something unless you don't get it out? So one way that I get it out is just moving past it and just really analyzing what it is that I went through, and now using that as a tool to keep me going forward. Because you may not be motivated every day you get up. Sometimes I don't. Like that thing go off, I sit there. I lay in the bed and just look like, oh. But then I remember, okay, what's on the other end when my feet touch the floor? A lot of people depend on me, So that's the drive. That drive ain't gonna go nowhere. That motivation to go back and forth. But if you got it inside of you, you're gonna keep pushing to it. So it's important to pull out what's your why is, what people call it a why. And everybody start with their family. And then once your family is taken care of, that why is taken care of. So what's next? So mine has always been greater. It's the community. It's the people that's not in my community. It's these people in all these other communities I go to. It's anybody that I can impact, right? Not change you. Because if I change you, I'm basically saying I want you to be like me, basically, if I'm trying to change to my way of thinking. But if I can impact you, that means that whatever's inside of you, I just pulled it out. I just made you see that was already in there and pulled that gift, helped you get that gift out of you. It don't matter if you 8 or 800 or 80, not 800. That's a real false number. 8 or 80. right? You can still do whatever you want to do, you know, because everybody got a purpose and a story and something they supposed to achieve. It's just if you choose to walk towards it, that's it, you know. So that's why I like hearing the KFC guy story. He was what, 56, almost 60 before he became a millionaire, you know. So that he found his passion. Oh, chicken. And now we eat it, it's everywhere, you know. So everybody got that here. And I'm still tapping into mine more, you know, because I know it's way more. Because I feel it. Like I can feel when I'm not doing enough. I get antsy, like it's something else, you know. So
well, Chad, you've obviously just begun, my friend. You've come so far, but your potential has unlimited bounds. And you know, for me, it's been a pleasure to meet you, get to know you, and more importantly, call you my friend.
100%.
You know, I'm excited what the future holds for us as friends. You know, I want to get you out here to LA and take you to Dodger Stadium, my friend.
Yeah, when they play the Braves.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Throw you out there because I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. You know,
there you go. Hey, let's tie this up a little bit. Let's get into the breakout rooms. And for those of you that are watching this video on YouTube right now, please click like below on Chad's presentation. Please leave some comments there about what you think about the video and how much you love Chad, because I know we all do. And look for more of our upcoming presentations coming soon on Flip Side Up with JJ. And on behalf of Chad and myself, stay tuned for more. Over and out. And if you're on the call, stay with us because we'll go to the breakout rooms. Everybody else, see you later. Over and out.